The rapid developments in oil and gas, power, and the various sectors within the energy industry contribute massively to an employment-rich global economy. We continue to identify many emerging and existing opportunities in the energy sector. Individuals recognize these opportunities as solutions to many challenges and thus are on the quest to pursue these paths. However, to pursue these opportunities and achieve great success, there are preparations to be made and steps to be followed. Welcome to Energy Quest. I'm Leslie, and on today's episode, we're going to have a very seasoned leader here who is going to educate us on how to develop the opportunities that we see in the energy sector. On Energy Quest, we educate and we demystify the energy sector. This time, we are going to help you break down the opportunities that you have identified and those that we have put out on the previous episodes. And he, Mr. Michael Ohene Effah, is going to help us identify the best ways to make these opportunities a reality. So, Mr. Effah, welcome.
Thank you very much. It's good to be on this show.
Yes.
Grace had not located me, so it's now my turn.
Yes, it's now your turn. Welcome. But well, no need to. I mean, the Energy Quest Foundation. So I'm sure our viewers have been seeing you already because, I mean, LeadAfrique supports us so well on the energy career seminars. And for that, we say thank you. You've done amazing for us.
It's always our pleasure.
Yeah. So, welcome again and tell us what LeadAfrique does and why. I mean, you're definitely the one to put us on the path to understanding the how, the business opportunities that we see.
Well, LeadAfrique set out to answer the question, why is Africa poor?
Okay.
Africa is poor because of poor leadership and because of its people not fully taking advantage of the opportunities that God has blessed us with.
Mm-hmm.
And so to contribute our part towards the development of Africa, we've decided that we will cultivate human beings in a very deliberate and structured way.
Okay.
So we have our own curriculum for teaching young people how to be great leaders.
Wow.
And we do this through a number of initiatives and approaches. So we'll run summer camps that are focused on helping young people to develop soft skills. We train secondary school students on how to answer lives with difficult questions.
Okay.
We train primary school students on how to develop, discover their purpose in life,
Okay.
to have a vision for their lives. We train parents on how to be good parents.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do at LeadAfrique is to grow human beings.
All round,
Looking at parents, looking at young people, looking at teachers, looking at corporate professionals like
Yeah. That's beautiful. Well, I know well because I've benefited a great deal. I've been on the on your program, the Las Magnatas, and it's been amazing. So yes, thank you for all the support you give all of us, give the younger ones, give people and companies as well, all the training that you do. Thank you very much.
We love doing it.
Okay. It just comes natural to you.
Yeah.
So today we want to talk about the opportunities in the energy sector that we've identified a whole lot. We've had a 3-part series before now that has talked about various opportunities in the sector. But now the question is, after we found these career options or found business options, now the question is, how do we make this a reality? I mean, we see a whole lot all around. If I study this, I can be that. If I register this kind of business and get that opportunity, blah, blah, blah. But still, we are home. Still, we have people who they just don't know what to do. We need to know, where do we start from? So this is why we have invited you.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a very important question. For you to start a business or establish anything, it needs to follow a certain process, a certain method. And for the little experience that I have in consulting and business development, I think a lot of people don't understand that there's a process to be followed. Raw passion is good. That is what ignites everything. But
there's a step
that is just the foundation you need to build upon. There's a structure to running a business and to taking advantage of the numerous opportunities that we see around us. So for any young person listening to us, for a corporate, mid-career corporate professional who wants to transition, who wants to found their own business, there are 4 things or 4 aspects of every business. From Cubica to Shell to Calor to GMPC to a small mom and pop business in Isigo, or where I grew up with tobacco.
Down.
There's a structure to where you see a business. And each structure has 5 parts.
Okay.
So to found or to set up a business, you need to answer 100 questions.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. That is how come 75% of SMEs don't live to celebrate their 3rd birthday. It is because a lot of people do not follow the process, the structure, and the procedure. So what do you need to do? If I can find an opportunity, 1, you need a strong business concept. A business concept. So what do you want to do? I want to run my own multimedia business. I want to go into outdoor production. I want to run a tool. I want to set up a food services business in the oil industry. So you need that concept. Now, what is that concept? Because you see, not all schools have the same concept. Not all hospitals have the same concept. Not all BECs have the same concept. So what's your concept? What's your business idea? You need to first settle on that. Now, that business idea in itself must be born out of a need, a customer's problem, a customer's need. And so you need to grow up that concept that is born out of a customer's what? Problem. Now, every business has 2 things.
Okay.
Every organization, it doesn't matter, church, NGO, corporate organization, they do just
industry.
1, you solve a problem. Or 2, you provide good feelings.
Okay.
That's all.
You provide good feelings.
So when you go to a hospital, what are you looking for? When you go, you women, when you go to the salon, what are you looking for? So that's it. When you go to a sneaker shop, what are you seeking to do? You want to wear a sneaker that will make you feel good. When you buy a new shirt, that's what you are seeking to do. Very good. So every business organization, you see, that's solving a problem.
Or giving the feel-good factor.
The feel-good factor. So where can you need to answer this question. Of course, in the energy sector, you are not going to provide.
Feel-good sector.
Exactly. You are going to solve a problem. So what is that problem? Business concept. That's 1 block. Now, under the business concept, there are 5 things you need to do. I won't go into that today.
Okay.
But just understand broadly that you always need a business concept to be able to establish it in business idea. So don't just wake up and say, Charlie, now people, they make money for this sector.
I'm going to do something.
Exactly. What is that concept that you are bringing on board? Then after that, you need a strong organization. Because there is a vehicle that must carry the concept. There is a basket that must contain what you are bringing onto the market. So what is that organization that you are bringing? You need a board, you need management, you need staff, you need processes, business administration processes, corporate governance processes. So what is that organization? I mean, if you want to found a business with your parties, that's fine. But among the parties, who will be responsible for procurement, for finances, for money, for customer acquisition? So you need to have that. What kind was some structure? What kind of employee would you like to have? What would the employee be? What skills do you need in your business? That's a strong organization. That's the second pillar. Then the third one is a profitable operation. Every sector or industry runs on operations. So for instance, what Cubica Energy does is different from what LeadAfrique does by virtue of what you do. and your operational setup or operations management setup will be different from what LeadAfrique does, because LeadAfrique does trail and capacity building. And so what is that operation? How will you deliver value to the customer? How will you run your business processes? That's the operation side. And a lot of people don't think about it. So for instance, you have a dream and you have a business. Talori wants to give you business, but it's in Takrady. Now, how are you going to run that operation? You need to think about it. How are you going to come to Takrady? What will you reach there?
How going where?
Exactly. How will you? So you need to think about the operations. Then the final pillar, as far as running a business, is customer relations.
Yeah.
You need to relate to the customer. How are you going to do that? How will you acquire a customer?
Even identify the customer.
Exactly. How will you maintain that customer relationship? In what ways will you communicate and send the customer, make the customer feel good? Customer relations. So these are the 4 major blocks. Now, each of these 4 has 5 pillars.
Whoa.
That comes to 100.
Okay.
That every person thinking of setting up a business, formalizing that your passion, you need to consider that. Now, if you don't do that, the chances are you just set up something, you get your first contract, you do when you make some money, but there's no operational structure. And so before long, you start making some bad decisions, and then boom, souls light off. Complete.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to sit a little bit, to put some people don't like writing, but whatever, even if it's just your tablet, right? Just write down something. How are you going to relate to the customer? What are you going to do? What kind of capability do I need in this business? How will I communicate with my customer? How will my customers like to communicate with me? Just think through a little bit before you launch out with your business. And this is regardless of the sector you want to go in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot. Because really, even just listening to this, I realized that if you take time and plan and look at all the factors that you're pointing out, I don't see how you take off and then shake up, because it sounds that concrete.
Yeah. Recently, I read a very fascinating thing. There's a Japanese hotel that has been in existence for 5 generations. That's 520 years.
520?
Yes, one hotel owned by the same family for 520 years.
How do they do it?
Exactly. It's about systems, processes, procedures.
520?
520 years by the same family. Not that they have sold it. Same family. So it's moved from 5 generations from the same family.
Yeah.
I've come to run this business. Why? Because there is a system.
Okay.
We have Ford. Ford, I think they are on the 4th member of the family, of the fourth
generation.
Exactly. Suzuki, Benz, and others. Why are these companies? There's a Coca-Cola is
we need African
my grandmother
that
they are still operating.
Yeah.
Why is it that they are able to? But for us, we just depend on Yamibeye and luck.
That's especially in this industry where, look, no matter the, new forms of energy that have come up, oil and gas is here, and it would always be here, no matter which new additions we have. And if this space has existed for this long, then by now the industry should have that kind of thing. Well, Ghana hasn't had it for after 20 years yet, but so far I don't know of any business that has been started from the very beginning. But I think we can take off now.
A few examples.
Yeah. Okay.
I hear Red World. I hear Spring.
Yeah. Yes, that have begun. Yeah, you're right. So now it's up to them to become those conglomerates that will last.
Exactly.
Yeah. Will last a test of time. But I think this is very informative. But the other aspects I want us to also look at, individual careers. Okay, where do we start off from? So putting aside the businessman, we'll go back to that. Now, like for individual careers, is this simply about I can only do it when I've studied a particular course, and then when I come out of school, what do I do? How do I get? I just want to be in the energy sector, okay, or I just want to be in oil sector. But I've heard that if I study geology, I can be that. The rules are in GNPC. If I study, but how do I do it?
First, you need a clear career plan. And if you are in school, if you are watching us, listening to us, streaming, if you are in school, please have a career plan before you graduate.
Okay.
There are a few things that I will talk to, especially the student, because youth is my soft spot.
Yeah.
One, before you graduate, in addition to making sure that you are not a chewer, make sure that, one, you know how to drive and have a driver's license.
Good.
Make sure you have a passport, and then make sure you have a CV.
Okay.
And then make sure you have a career plan.
Okay.
You see, don't just be doing wazokia. Just moving from one hall to the other, collecting,
looking for the girl,
and pen drives and other things. Plan for your life.
Yeah.
Because you see, we give too much thought to planning a graduation party that we give to planning our career. And that is how come people say that, oh, there are no jobs. But I'm also privy to the fact that
organizations are fine.
Yes. Yeah. We can't find. So what is that telling us?
Yeah.
What is that telling us? So number one, in 20 years, a lot of the jobs that we know today will be extinct because of technology and the fast-paced nature of our work. And so, yes, there will be room for the technical people, the geologists, the subsea engineers, the drivers, there will be room for them. But generally, in addition to being that technical specialist, you need certain skills. Because even when you are a technical person, the company is not employing you because of the technical skill. They are employing you because of certain things. So let me break it down in terms of what the corporate world is looking for. We are looking at attitude, skills, and behaviors. And anybody listening to me, yes, it's good to come out with a very good degree, technical specialist, but just focus on these things. Number one, attitude. People are hiring for attitude and training for skill.
Okay.
So yes, you might have the skill, but
attitude.
With attitude, you'll be writing
the skill.
So pay attention to the fact that if you go for a job interview, if you're sitting before in a panel, make sure that you are hawking that attitude. Oh, I can do it. That attitude that says, I don't know, but give me a moment, let me find out. That attitude that says that, yes, I have tried 1, 2, 3, 4, but give me 2 more days. Because I have, that attitude is what everybody is buying. That attitude that says, I'm going to try, I'll give it a shot. That attitude that says that, yes, typically we do this way, but why don't you try that attitude? That's what will get you anywhere, no matter your specialization. That is how come you have 2 technical people, one person is rising and the other is not because of poor attitude. So attitude is what we buy. It doesn't matter what you did. I know people who did certain courses that we didn't respect back in school. Today they are millionaires. Why? Because they exactly led them to develop themselves. Then the second one is skills. So it's good to have geology degree, chemical engineering degree, and all. But we need some skills. So what are those skills? I mean, today, for instance, if you did 5 months in school and you are still doing T-table, you know what that means. You should be able to use scripts and other software, Excel and others, in addition to the qualifications.
The AI ones are on now.
Exactly, because then that is what will energy, out. And I have something called unfair advantage. It will give you an unfair advantage over other people. So you need some skills. And I can bring down the skills further into the top 5 skills that will sell between now and 2030.
Wow.
According to the World Economic Forum.
Tell us. So get your pens and paper and note that down.
Well, the World Economic Forum says that between now and 2030, these are the skills that are hot.
Okay.
Like hot killy willy.
Hey.
And cleanup. The first one is creative thinking.
Okay.
Critical thinking. I mean, it is your university degree is meaningless unless it is linked up with creative thinking abilities.
Oh, yeah, right.
So creative thinking, that ability that says I'm going to go around it. That ability that says that yes, you have tried this act for 7 years in this business. Why don't you use it that way? That ability that says that when I came to this business, we were only in 4 sectors. Have we tried this other sector? I have done my research. That creative thinking ability is what we're eligible.
Okay.
Then the other one is analytical skills. The ability to analyze. The ability to be able to put two together and deduct.
Yes.
Analytical skills. The next one is problem solving. You see, every employee, the exchange of value between an employer and an employee is that problem. The business, first of all, was created to what? Solve problems. And so when you come into the business, you are coming to contribute your part towards solving a problem. And so we don't want people when you ask them, oh, sir, they didn't tell me. Oh, sir, I don't know that one. Then why are you in the business? So if you don't have problem solving ability, you are toast in this economy. Then the other one is self-management. Okay. That is the top thing. Exactly. We need people who can manage themselves. For instance, we hired somebody, one of my officers in the office, and 3 weeks outside was like, we gave him a project, a whole new project to run. And you had to travel and you had to do so many things. So if you can't manage yourself, if you are just there, you are inside Tuka. Now, how are you going to be employable? Yeah. So you need self-management skills. And then the final score, according to the World Economic Forum, is active learning skills. That thing, relentless learning, adding value to yourself, learning new things, learning this research and applying yourself, developing your person. You came into the business and didn't know how to drive, so give me 6 months. And learning different things that make you a value-added employee.
It's obvious you're working to be more effective and exactly.
So these 5 skills, we need them. If you want to be hot, if you want to be a employer, if you want to find space within any sector, it doesn't matter what course you read at the MS. And then finally, behaviors. You see, everything is broken down into behavior. What do you and I do every day in the office is behavior. Responding to a customer problem, doing something, supporting an initiative, supporting a project is all breaking down to behavior. So ask yourself, what do I do when I get into the world of work? It's about behaviors. And I call something, in my first book, I developed a concept I call 3 hands and 3 legs.
Okay.
But the average human being has 2 hands and 2 legs. But if you want to give yourself an answer, you need to do more. And really more means that you have 3 hands and you have 3 legs. And doing more. So for instance, in the office close at 5, at 7, you are still in there trying to solve a problem or resolve a customer issue before you go home. That's a third hand.
That's value.
That's value. And so you see, no matter what you did, you can actually read African studies in University of Ghana or any other university and find space in the oil industry because you possess the skills. But a lot of people have been confiscated by their certificates because they think, oh, I read accounting, so I must be an accountant. Exactly, I read finance, so I must, that English, I don't know how to say it. But there's a slang for dolly. Dolly, I was working a bank. I did finance, right? I did banking and finance.
By all means.
At Central University, so then by all means.
You say by all means possible.
Exactly. The slang is dolly.
Dolly.
So this is what is hampering or serving as a barrier to a lot of our young people, not knowing that the corporate world is actually selling skills or buying skills, and that I must have a portfolio of these skills, and that is what will actually sell. But people thinking, oh, if I don't do geology, then I can't work in the oil industry.
Yeah.
If I don't do chemical engineering, then I don't find space. You know, there's somebody with a psychology degree will do your work because that person has the attitude of, I will learn.
Yeah.
And you know, at a certain level, you can really learn anything. Yes, there are people using YouTube to learn just about anything. And so today, your university degree is not enough.
It doesn't matter.
Some people are learning finance on YouTube.
People have no degrees and they're doing better.
Yes, so your accounting degree is nothing if you don't link it up with the required skills. Your finance degree is nothing if you don't back it up with the required skill. Your marketing degree is nothing if you don't back it up with the right attitude. That is what the corporate world is like.
Looking out for. And the level of competition now, the world is a global village now.
Yes.
So it's not about staying in some tiny corner and you think you can come. It doesn't work.
That's right.
So yes, you have to develop yourself.
That's right.
Yes. Else you may start up and get.
Especially in energy, where people have multinational operations.
Yeah.
So you interview in Ghana, but your competition is actually in Uganda. And the next day you are in Tanzania.
And they survive there.
Exactly. You know, so if you're, and I tell young people when I speak to them, don't have this Kutubadu down mentality of local champion.
Yeah.
Local champion. You are there overall 3.45. And I'm there on borrow, you know. Look at, what if I'm competing with a Kenyan guy? What if I'm competing with a Tanzanian lady? How am I going to do it? You know, so we need to know that the world is now a playing field. And when you are employed, think competition. Think, how am I going to compete with a Gambian guy? Because my company might take me there. You know, today, almost, with the exception of a few of our banks, almost all our banks have branches across Africa. So maybe a Ghana guy, they see you are good, easily gone. You've managed it, okay, move you to Kenya. Now, how are you going to operate there if you don't have the required soft skills?
You know, another thing for the energy industry, now we have new developments in the industry.
Sure.
We have new industries that, new sectors that were not in the industry before, because technology, there's so much evolving.
That's right.
So you may have studied some kind of engineering, but it may not cover the new technologies now. What do you do? You know, how do you fit in those spaces? Because those new spaces are where we have to look at for tomorrow. Because some of the things people who are already in this energy industry are doing may go obsolete too.
Good. So that's a very good point you raised. You know, Albert Toffler is an author.
Okay.
And he said something profound. And he said, the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read or write. It will be those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn.
Take that again.
The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read or write. It will be those who cannot learn, unlearn,
and relearn. Yeah.
And so it speaks to the scenario you just given, that you might have studied something, but there's a new variant or variation of it because of technology or new developments. Now, how do you unlearn and then relearn so that you are fit for the new demand of the
purpose of them?
Yeah. And that's how come you need active learning skills, because then you immediately reinvent yourself by relearning. Some others call it upskilling, by adding other skills to your skill set so it can be useful. Because today, in the world is looking for utility players. You must be a utility player. You must be versatile. You must be flexible.
Ready for all kinds of
things. I mean, we are a training company.
Yeah.
I have an officer in my office who did engineering.
Okay.
At his training today. I have an officer in my office who did food science. He's training today.
Okay.
We used to have an officer in the office who was a professional chef. So was training.
You don't look at what people have studied where you're employing them.
Afraid you can do witchcraft, BSc in witchcraft. We would employ you to train.
BSc witchcraft.
Yes. You know, there's a South African university that offers that course.
Oh, really?
Yes. So it's for real.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm not making it up.
That's interesting.
So it doesn't matter now. That's what we talk about open mind, active learning. Provided you are, let's look at you. You are in energy. Did you study energy?
No.
And I'm sure 20 years ago, nobody had
It's psychology degree.
Exactly.
Yes.
But you have reinvented yourself, you have developed yourself, and you have responded to a certain need and have upskilled yourself to be able to do what you do. So you have a classic example of what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
That you need to learn, unlearn, and relearn consistently every day. Because most theory says that every 6 months, the total amount of information in the world quadruples.
Whoa. So if you sit back, you lose completely.
No, you see, years ago I read a book in the 90s called Swim with the Sharks or Be Eaten by the Sharks.
So, how?
By Happy
Swim
Market.
with them.
Yes, you just swim with them.
Oh, sorry. You just get eating.
You come and take your job because you are no longer fit for purpose.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we've gone through a banking sector crisis where banks have laid off thousands of people. Now, in the boardrooms, let's ask ourselves, what went through management?
How did they identify those should go to bed?
Because those who were no longer fit for purpose. It was those who had not learned relief. Of course, if you talk to people, they'll tell you there were other concentrations.
Yeah.
But
there's a major factor.
Yeah, largely.
And it's so in every industry.
That's right.
I mean, if the cost on an oil rig is too much now, and they believe that let's reduce the number of engineers that we take to the rig, or a company says, well, I'm only going to operate one field. I used to operate 3 before. I need to keep just a few of the engineers that will go back to the field. Who are they going to keep?
Also, they are going to ask themselves, who is dispensable? Who can
value
without?
Yeah.
So the conversation, let's summarize that. Need attitude. That's the primary thing. An attitude of, I want to work. An attitude of, I'll go the extra mile. An attitude of, I don't know, but I'll learn. Then skills. You need skills other than your technical competence. For instance, you might be an engineer, but at a certain level, you will not be doing technical engineering. You'll be doing management of staff.
Yeah. How do
That's your strategic decision making. So if you have not added other skills to your original engineering, how are you going to manage it?
You know, I think that's a very common thing where you have the best performing staff at technical level who are given the opportunity to manage, and suddenly they are failure
Because they don't have that skill.
because they do not prepare.
They were
They do not prepare.
specialists. They are not leaders.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So you need that. And then remember that when you go to work every day, it's about behaviors. So what behaviors are you going to display? What behaviors are you going to acquire? What behaviors are you going to develop yourself in so that you become an invaluable, indispensable member of staff?
I think the behaviors and attitude aspects, beyond where it takes you immediately, sometimes you have onlookers that you don't even realize.
Yeah.
So in the future, these people come back and say, hey, that guy's attitude when I worked with him 10 years ago is impeccable. Can we go for him? He'll be a good partner at this. So,
Precise.
I mean, that happens a lot.
I tell Crystal, but you see, when you come to the office every day, you are signing your signature
Yeah.
by the working. So because even your own colleagues, like you just explained, 10 years from today, will mention you at some places.
Austerity judges.
Exactly. So your own colleagues, if your name came up somewhere, what would they say about you?
Oh.
It's because of the signature.
There you say.
Exactly. By the way you respond to the duty, a call of duty every day, every moment. So this is what is imperative. And that's why we support Energy Quest and what you do with the career some, because these are the kind of things that typically lecturers don't focus on. There's no grade point average.
Yeah.
And so this is where you need to complement what you are being taught in the classroom by some of these things. You might already be in a job, but ask yourself, am I being promoted?
Yeah.
Am I rising on the corporate ladder? How am I showing up every day when I come to work?
Okay.
Do I reject projects, tasks, and assignments? Or I go the extra mile to be an invaluable member of the team?
Wow. Michael, this is just powerful. I mean, this just, I mean, it educates everybody. It doesn't matter if you are entering you're at career entry level. It doesn't matter if you're right there in the middle. It doesn't matter if you're top management. I think that he's given us so much I can tell already that you've learned a lot. Drop them down in the comments and let's discuss further. I'm sure you'd want to come back and then discuss some of the aspects that you're going to raise in your comment in another episode. But Michael, give us your highlights or your concluding statements in the whole idea of propelling us for better careers, how we can identify open doors for business and jump in there and make the best of those business opportunities.
I think the world as we know it will change very rapidly in the next 10, 20 years.
Okay.
And if you want to have a glimpse of how the world in 20 years' time will look like, look at how the world was 20 years ago. And you'll see the changes that as location by technological development. Now, these changes will demand of you different skills, different attitudes, and different things. And you need to start preparing now for those changes that are coming up. Now, if you want to do business, remember that integrity, reliability, dedication is in short supply. So if you want to be a vendor, you want to be a local player in any industry, ask yourself, am I reliable?
Mm-hmm.
Am I dedicated?
Okay.
Am I a person of integrity? When I say I'll deliver next week, do I deliver next week? Or it's next 2 weeks and I switch off my phone? So this is what will give you an unfair advantage over your competition. And I think the time to start in these things
it's now. Yes. It's now. Wow. Okay. So viewers, this is Michael Ohene Effah. As you well learned so much from him, and I'm sure you definitely know him already and what LeadAfrique does. He's available. If you want to find him, just go on the LeadAfrique website. Just Google them. He can support you with personal development. He can support your businesses and training the people to have the better attitudes we are discussing here. Some behaviors can be developed. Okay. So as we discussed in detail, you know it all now. Consider bettering yourself. Consider positioning yourself by learning through the little things that we have pointed out here today. So share in the comment section the lessons you have learned. And yes, we would appreciate that so we can do more of this for you. And remember to subscribe to this channel so you do not miss out on any of these amazing episodes. This is what we do on Energy Quest. We demystify the energy sector and add value. Till we meet again. Ciao.